now. You should have gotten a note there. So thank you so much for coming to Mindfulness and Meditation, our monthly session. I'm Mindy Buchanan. I'm the Director of Patient Programs here at FSR, and we want to give a big thank you to Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals for sponsoring this session and every session each month. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our leader extraordinaire, Susan D'Agostino, who will lead us in today's session. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, Mindy. Thank you. Thanks everybody for being here on a Wednesday, this time of the day. Of course, thanks to Mallinckrodt and thanks to FSR for hosting us today. I see some familiar names here and then some newer names, which is nice. So today, I don't know if some of you know, I didn't really know until a couple of days ago when I read an email from FSR's Cardiac Sarcoidosis Awareness Week. I know everybody's been wearing red online, so I'm wearing my red, and my T-shirt has little hearts, says "Life is good." So I'm all I'm all ready for today. So that was really nice. When I found out it was Cardiac Sarcoidosis Awareness Week, I said, I was going to do a different kind of meditation, but I said, let's maybe do something with that is a little bit with our heart today. So we'll work with, on a little meditation that's and going to incorporate some heart thoughts in there. Anyways, my name is Susan D'Agostino. For those of you who haven't been here before, I'm a retired nurse. I also have sarcoidosis, so I'm come from probably some of the same places all of you come from, with a lot of misgivings, a long time to diagnosis, weird symptoms, and a lot of things that go along with sarcoid. So a huge learning curve. And, several months ago, I worked with Mindy and we started a mindfulness series. I hope some of you have had the chance to go and view it. It's a 4-part series. And then we decided to do these drop-ins monthly because people were asking about, kind of keeping up the practice and wanting to do this and, kind of be able to continue their practice and learn different things. It's a little different doing this on Zoom than it is in person. This is the first time I've ever done any kind of electronic teaching. I've always done mindfulness teaching in person with classes, and obviously COVID has changed all that. But this has been interesting, and I'm hoping that a lot of you are gaining some good feedback here. And we'll have some time at the end also for some questions. So I tend to try to want to always start our classes just with a quick mindful moment practice. So if everybody could just get comfortable in their chairs or wherever you might be, hopefully in a chair, comfortable. If you're lying down, that's also fine, although sometimes that can make you a little bit sleepy. So I do ask that if you can be in a chair. And what I like everybody do is just kind of settle in their chair, get comfortable, feet on the ground, and just kind of begin to get comfortable in the room you're in. If you need to get up right now and get a glass of water, I'm reaching for mine right now, that's also fine. But once you're in the chair, I invite you to just close your eyes, or at least take a downward gaze to the floor. And just take a long, slow inhale through your nose, and then slowly let it out through your nose again. So I just want you to take a couple long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe 1 or 2 more long, slow inhales and exhales. And once you've done that, just let your breath return to its natural rhythm. And bring an awareness to just the sensation of breathing. Maybe there's a coolness as you breathe in and a warmth as you breathe out. And as you pay attention and become aware of your inhale and exhale, this is what's known as a mindful breath. It's just sort of paying attention to the whole concept of breathing, something we don't normally do. But the whole concept of breathing, a mindful breath, is really to have an awareness to breath and how breath can oftentimes elicit a relaxation response just by breathing in and breathing out slowly. So I want you to just go ahead and do that a couple more times. I'm going to guide you. Take a slow, deep breath in, and then exhale through the nose. And do that again, and an inhale, and an exhale. And if you breathe out through the mouth, that's also okay. And as you're doing this inhale and exhale, notice how the body begins to relax. So we become aware of breathing. We become aware of the relaxation response, maybe a little more aware of your seated position, your surroundings. And maybe that's just a quick relaxation response for you. So when you can, open your eyes slowly and just have an awareness to how you feel right now. How does that feel from maybe 5 minutes ago? Feel a little more relaxed, feeling a little, maybe just the deep breath really brings on that response. So that mindful minute, mindful moment is something you can practice at any time of the day, whenever you're feeling stress or you just want to, I mean, I know when my blood pressure goes up, I can feel it. Sometimes I'll get a little red and I'll just stop and do this pause and do a mindful moment. Sometimes it's good to do if you're going to have a meeting before you start your meeting, or after you start your meeting, before you have a meal. It's just a pause in your normal routines, or maybe you're getting into a heated argument. You want to kind of stop there and create a mindful moment also. Mindy, maybe if you could put the cameras on for everybody if they want to go online. I just want to discuss these 10 surprising facts that I send out to everybody. I send out an email and we talked a little bit well, we didn't talk. I'd like to just discuss this real quickly. So I sent out this email that I found and I really liked it because it's very short and it talks about 10 surprising facts, and I'm looking at my computer at the same time, so that's why I'm off to the right. So some of the things that meditation does do and does help you with, and we talk a lot about this in the 4-part series that I did and some of the other meditations that I've done monthly, how meditation reduces stress. And maybe some of you felt that little bit of reduction right now, just with that mindful moment. How meditation can slow down or prevent some neurodegenerative diseases. And this is an interesting concept that's been studied lately, especially with Alzheimer's patients and people with all kinds of nervous disorders, including some mental disorders like anxiety and things like that, and even people with tics that have maybe some tremors. So, and it's really what happens is we're creating this relaxation, but it's a neurological response that we're also creating at the same time, so that there's a lot of reduction in the sympathetic nervous system, which is part of the nervous system that creates high blood pressure or creates this whole cascade effect of things that can happen in the body. And then we move on to how it can lower your blood pressure, how it can actually improve your memory. And again, we're talking about a lot of studies being done on Alzheimer's and dementia and people that are, especially at Harvard, and there's been a lot of studies done with mindful meditation, just with 20 to 30 minutes daily, and then you see a lot of changes in the brain MRIs after about 8 weeks. So 8 weeks seems to be the point where most studies are going to show that you actually have changes in your brain. So that's why we always call meditation and mindfulness a practice, because you really do have to practice it over time to feel the benefits. And again, and this article talks about neuroplasticity, which I've spoken a lot about in some of the classes that I've given here online. And I hope again some of you can participate in those classes, and they are online. And then one of the more interesting things, and we did do a meditation specific to pain a couple of weeks ago, how it can be effective in actually lowering your pain and lowering the amount of pain prescription you take. Doesn't necessarily going to take away your pain or take away all the meds that you're on, but even with lowering of some of the medications, that could be helpful in a lot of people. And some of the studies have actually shown pain decrease in intensity of like up to 50%, which to me was really amazing. And even the prescription lowering like somewhere in the 15 to 25% range, which was also, I thought was very impactful. And then it talks a little bit about how often you meditate is more important than how long you meditate. And this is a question that I'm often asked is, how long should I meditate? When you're a new meditator, a minute is fine. If you did the mindful moment that we just did, and you start there and you move to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's what you can tolerate. It's more about how often you meditate than how long. You want to meditate more frequently, 3, 4, 5 times a week. And you will see that as you begin to elicit that relaxation response, you will actually want to meditate longer, and it just sort of flows naturally. When I first began meditating, 20 years ago, I used to meditate like a minute. And now I easily can meditate 30 minutes without a problem, sometimes a little bit longer. Days that I don't meditate, I actually feel it, and I kind of get antsy. Why didn't I meditate? And not, maybe I don't get to it that day, but I always will get back to it. And we talked a little bit about article talked a little bit how it can improve heart health, and obviously how it does that is by decreasing your blood pressure. Some studies show that the whole response that you have in the nervous system and in the physical body actually can lower your cholesterol, because a lot of the responses in the heart are related to inflammation, just like sarcoid. Almost every disease is really related to inflammation, and what meditation does is help in that inflammatory response and slowing it and decreasing the inflammatory response. And one of the best things I liked about this is how meditation can actually make you feel kinder. And don't we all need to live in a kinder world right now? And I think one of the things that meditation helps you do is become more compassionate, not only to others, but to yourself. And when you develop self-compassion, that is how you're able to have compassion to others. Because if you can't have self-compassion for yourself, it's very difficult to give it to others. Or sometimes you're giving it to others and it's not a full response. How much compassion you would like to give, it would be more if you were feeling better about yourself or what you're going through. And some of us in sarcoid, a lot of us in sarcoid suffer silently. We suffer very quietly. We have a rare disease. No one really knows what it is. Sometimes you don't want to talk about it. Sometimes your family members don't want to hear it. Sometimes they just don't understand. And that's why we come to these classes. And that's why we come to FSR, and we get on the blogs, or we end up going on some of the SARC socials, because what they're doing is teaching us really how to be more compassionate to ourselves. If we are kinder to ourselves, we're gonna help ourselves in our disease state, and we're also going to be able to help others that we would like to help, family members, friends, or whatever, and to be a more compassionate person. So I really like this article because it was short and sweet, gave some of the benefits of mindfulness, and I thought all of you could really enjoy just some of the little ideas there. So like I said earlier in the day, earlier in the class, today is cardiac sarcoidosis awareness day. And on the 29th today, and I spent probably the last 15 years of my career working in heart disease. So this is kind of a subject near and dear to me, obviously. And so I want to really gear our next meditation to a heart-centered type of meditation that really has to do a lot with healing, compassion, and loving tenderness, and loving kindness. And so what we're going to try to do with this meditation is bring the mind, body, and spirit together in a meditation, and using our heart. And there's actually a whole training on something called heart-centered meditation. And it's using the whole concept of the mind, body, heart, and mind are one in unison, and what affects one affects the other. So I'll do a little bit of that technique today while we're meditating. Well, we're going to go ahead and meditate. So what I'd like everybody to do right now is, if you're thirsty, have a little sip of water. Again, we're going to settle into our stillness. Minnie, you can take the cameras off if you want to right now. I'd like everybody to just sit back, bring yourself to a comfortable position. Oops, let me turn my radio off. I don't know why it went on. Okay, turn that off. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get comfortable, bring ourselves to a comfortable position. Hopefully sitting down, feet on the ground, wiggle a little bit, get comfortable until you can feel like you're settling into stillness. I'm going to use a bell at the beginning and at the end of the meditation. And when you hear the bell at the end, it's basically a hint of we're going to be closing the meditation. It doesn't mean you have to open your eyes. I want you to open them whenever you're ready. There are going to be some moments in between while I'm talking, and then other moments of silence and stillness. And remember, when you're meditating, it's not that you don't think. The mind is always working. So if you have thoughts, remember that is okay. And all you want to do is come back to the breath. If your mind begins to wonder with, oh, what am I going to cook for dinner, or whatever the thought might be, just come back to the inhale and the exhale. Just bring your awareness back to the breath. Let the thought go. You might have to do that a couple times. And remember, having thoughts is okay. But we want to come back to the breath. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, you feel like you need to open your eyes, that's okay. Again, always coming back to the breath and bringing the body and the awareness into the inhale and the exhale. If you start to feel any kind of emotions, that's also can be very normal. Again, always coming back to the inhale and the exhale. So I can't stress that enough. It's sort of your anchor, and that's where we always want to come back to. So bring yourself to a comfortable position and bring awareness to your breath. So I'd like you to close your eyes when you're ready, or at least have a downward gaze, feet on the ground, hands maybe on your lap or on the arms of the chair, wherever they may feel comfortable. And just bring awareness to your breath right now. So the following meditation is going to help you to connect with your heart. The heart holds the center of love, empathy, compassion. Like love, air surrounds and sustains us all in this life. It is here through our heart in this channel for universal compassion our true self lies. It is here in this space that we invite the infinite love to flow through us, allowing us to heal ourselves and to heal others. The lesson of the heart is that we must fully love and accept ourselves before we can love and accept others. So right now, I'd like you to just spread your collarbones wide. Open up that space that holds your heart. If you can, bring one hand to your heart and the other one to your belly. Bring your awareness to the space that surrounds your heart. Notice this space rise and fall with your breath. So I'd like you to just bring an awareness as your hand lies on your heart and the other hand on your belly. this space in between heart and belly. As you breathe in and you breathe out, as you inhale, feel your belly expand and your lungs fill with fresh air. As you exhale, feel your belly contract. As you exhale, you empty out and create space for new awareness. Just leave your hand on your heart and your other hand on your belly as you breathe in and out a few times. Now at this point, you may leave your hand on your heart or you may bring it down and remove your hand from your belly and also bring it down to your laps or the arms of the chair. I'd like you right now to imagine breathing in a large, warm light through your nostrils. That light settles down into your heart space. It brings with it warmth, making your entire upper body feel toasty and cozy. As you breathe, allow this light and this warmth to grow. Only by allowing this space of opening our hearts can we allow love to come in, and can we allow healing to enter. If you have felt pain, perhaps a broken heart, if you felt vulnerability, breathe in the awareness of those things that have happened to you and the courageous moves you made to heal, or possibly the courageous moves you may need to heal. Bringing this light onto yourself and onto others who may need love. I'd like you to just take a moment to breathe in and breathe out and feel this warm light and this feeling of gratitude, this feeling of love and compassion. If you want to bring your hand back up to your heart and connect with that heart space, you can do so at this time. You don't have to. But as you do this, I want you to just breathe in, breathe out. Bring awareness to how the body is relaxing. How the tension is flowing from the body outwards as the body begins to relax. As you feel this sense of love, compassion, now I'd like you to bring to mind someone. It can be a loved one or even a pet, someone that brings a smile to your face. And just be aware of how that makes you feel. How it brings you happiness, how it brings you warmth, how you feel this love and this compassion to that person, that pet. And the wonderful feeling you have at this moment. I'd like for you to say to yourself, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. Now I'd like you to bring to mind someone or multiple people who you have a tough relationship with. You can bring their face clearly into your mind's eyes. Now allow this same feeling, this love, to radiate from your heart space out and into this person or people. And say to them, may they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free from suffering. Bring awareness again to this light that is radiating inside your body that you've brought to your heart. You may want to put your hand back to your heart. You don't have to. Often we can feel our own beat of our own hearts when we're in stillness. And say to yourself again, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. Bring awareness to your breath as you inhale and exhale, the feeling of stillness in your body, the feeling of healing. If you should feel any discomfort, you shift your body a little bit and come back to the breath. As you inhale and release all stressors as you exhale. Inhale peace, stillness. Exhale all stressors, anxieties, and fears. Continue to bring awareness to your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. If there's any part of the body you feel uncomfortable with, you can wiggle a little bit, move until you feel comfortable, and then come back to the breath again. Inhale and exhale. Try to bring a feeling of stillness, of warmth, of healing to any part of the body right now. You may even want to touch that part of the body and bring in that warm light of healing as you inhale and exhale. As your discomforts become lessened, you may want to concentrate back on that energy, the healing within your heart. Place your hand on your heart again and feel the inhale and the exhale, the stillness, the comfort. Continue to bring your awareness back to the breath as you inhale and exhale. Feeling how comfortable you feel in stillness, how you've brought healing to your body. Bring awareness to the mindful breath and the mindful moment you're experiencing. This moment of present, the moment of being here right now. Bring your awareness back to the inhale, the exhale, the mindful moment, this moment of presence. May I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I be free from suffering. Now I'd like you to call to mind yourself. Picture yourself here in this room. With your eyes closed, bring your face very clearly into your mind's eye. Using all this love, compassion, openness, healing that you've just cultivated here in this space, begin to wrap yourself in this love. Sending it out from this space that holds your heart. Wrap yourself in this love, compassion, healing, and openness, all in this present moment. And you may feel the need as you awaken slowly to take a long, deep breath, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move about in your chairs. Open your eyes whenever you're ready. There's no hurry. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready and have an awareness to how you feel right now in this moment, in this present moment. When you open your eyes slowly, just stay wherever you are in your chair or sitting on the floor. Don't move around too much. Go slowly. If you have some water, you may want to take a sip of water. Take a deep breath. So that was a very nice practice. I kind of incorporated several practices in there: heart-centered, gratitude, loving kindness, mindful moment. Um, I hope I was able to make everybody feel that warmth of the healing light, which I love that. We did do a healing meditation several meditations back. Um, and this was a good 35 minutes or so, or 35, 40 minutes we were in meditation. And like I said, you can do meditation for a minute, but sometimes when you do it, the time just runs by and you don't even know it. And it really is a great break in the day. It's a good distressor for your mind, for your body. It creates enormous positive benefits physiologically in the nervous system, the cardiac system, the immune system, slowing down that sympathetic nervous system of the sympathetic system of the nervous system, which creates so many problems, especially in sarcoidosis with the immune response. And that's something we all want to learn how to maybe slow down a bit so it helps in our disease. And especially on a day like today with cardiac sarcoidosis awareness, incredible benefits to the cardiovascular system, obviously, with meditation. I'd like to open it up to all of you. If there's any questions, comments, that'd be great.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah, folks, if you want to, if you're feeling good and you want to turn on your video, that's super welcome, because Susan's here to answer questions. And I know I always feel a little bit blissed out every time we have these. So thank you, Susan. Susan, I guess I have some questions, and this kind of goes back to the 10 sort of surprising things. And I know that you mentioned the different kind of effects that meditation can have. Is there a benefit to a certain kind of meditation versus another kind of meditation, or can you talk a bit about, like, I guess if you're looking to get one of those outcomes from that blog post, not that you specifically can go for it, but like, is there some kind of meditations that are better for certain kinds of things, or all meditation equal?
No, they're not all equal. I mean, the thing is that there's so many different kinds of meditation. I think the end result is pretty equal, though. Decreasing that stress response, working on the nervous system and the pathways. I think they all do that. Now, there are so many different kinds of meditation. Like, if you wanted to do a movement meditation, something like Tai Chi or Qigong or even yoga, those are good along with exercise. And then, there's like meditations like loving kindness. It's a particular kind of meditation where you bring love and kindness to yourself, you bring it to others, you bring it to your community, people in the room. That's a very powerful meditation, but I don't get the feeling in a Zoom meeting as much as I have to be honest, as I would when I do that meditation in purpose. When you do, in person, when you do loving kindness in a room of, 7, 8, 10 people, there's always a response where somebody's going to cry, or just it really hits them, because you're bringing meditation to yourself, to others, to people that you have conflict with, people in the world, people in your job, people in the community. And it's a very powerful meditation that you elicit in yourself and then to others, which I did a little bit here, but not too much. So, and then there's, meditation that has to do with gratitude, meditation that have to do with self-compassion. So I kind of did a little hodgepodge in here. And then, healing. Obviously, if we wanted to do a healing meditation where there's different ways to do it, a lot of times you'll do it with light. bringing it light or warmth into that part of the body where you're having discomfort or pain. I threw a little bit in there about it. Some people will do a touch meditation, where they're bringing warmth with their hand to, let's say, their shoulder or their knee or wherever it might hurt. And then there's grounding. That's a meditation that you do, barefooted outside in the walking meditation. There's just so many different kinds. And that's why I always tell people, you got to kind of almost experiment with what works for you and what helps you for you to get to that meditation. But I mean, I like just doing, for anybody and everybody, this mindful moment breath. It takes like 3 minutes, like if you were going to go into a meeting, Mindy, right before you get into your meeting, you just sit and close your eyes, take some deep breaths and concentrate on the breath. And that already is going to elicit a tremendous, physiological response for you to, clear your head, go in without so much stress to a meeting. But you can do that like when you're arguing with your kids, you just pause and stop, take a deep breath, or you can do that at any time of the day. And sometimes we do it and we don't even know we're doing it. It's almost like an automatic thing. I mean, as a nurse, I was always telling patients, just, okay, relax, take a deep breath, take some deep breaths. And all of a sudden they're not as anxious before they go to surgery, or they're having some kind of anxiety from a procedure or whatever, and just somebody guiding you, to just slow down, take a deep breath really helps. So, always, I believe that just doing mindful moments and by the pause, basically that's what it's called, and taking breaths will help in almost any situation. So I think all meditations help in different ways, depending on, the particular circumstance. And that's why when we did the series, we concentrated on different methods at different times. And I know I did one for breathing, where we incorporated a little bit of Qigong, deep breathing movements along with meditation. So yeah, there's a lot of different ones that one can do. But I think, like, for the purposes of this, what we're doing here, a lot of people are new to meditation. So I really just want to touch on some little techniques that they could use every day at home.
Thank you, Susan. Does anybody else have any other questions? Burning top of mind? Oh, Maxine, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Oh, you're on mute.
You have to unmute yourself, Maxine.
Okay,
There
I
you go.
am.
Okay.
Thank you. First of all, that was great. I was so out of it when you rang the bell. I like jerked myself.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah. I've been trying to do just a simple mindfulness meditation. I keep forgetting to do it, but is there a better time of day that you think is beneficial?
I think anytime you can do it is beneficial. You just have to work it into your day. Some people just get very hung up on this. Oh, I got to do it in the morning. I got to do it at night. And then it becomes a stress, so that's what you don't want to do. You just want to say, whenever I have 5 minutes in my day, I can break out, go into the room, chill, whatever. It really does not matter. There'll be some meditation teachers who will tell you, the only meditation where it really matters is that there's a particular meditation, and it's called Yoga Nidra, that you do for sleep. And we did that one night on one of our classes where we held it at night, because that meditation is specifically geared for sleeping. That's one of the few meditations where I'll tell people, lay down, go in your bed, get on the couch, get comfortable, because that's for sleep. But otherwise, meditation, some days I'll do it early in the morning when I get up, some days in the middle of the day, whenever I can make time. I think it's always good, and never make it at a time like where you have to get up immediately and have 10 chores to do. Like when you come out of meditation, you want to have 5 or 10 minutes to, just kind of unwind, enjoy how your body is actually feeling. That's the thing too. You want to have awareness to that stillness, maybe you have less pain. Maybe you're just feeling really great, blissful, whatever. Bring awareness to that feeling so that you're aware of what that feels like, so that you know that it's there for you, that it's always there for you. you know, you just have to make the time for it.
I have to tell you something a little funny. The first times I tried it, when I opened my eyes, two of my cats were facing me, sitting facing me, staring at me. They did that like 2 or 3 times. What is she doing? You know?
You probably heard my dog bark once too, and I had to mute myself quickly. But yeah, I mean, cats are, I have a cat. She's phenomenal too. I have 2 dogs and a cat. And man, sometimes if I sit down with my cat, she's like right on my lap. It's like she's meditating with you, and they pick up on you more than dogs, that's for sure. And actually they're here in, I live in Miami. I used to know a lady who taught mindfulness classes, meditation, and it was a bring your pet kind of thing. I never went, and I wish I had. Hopefully they'll do that again, but it was bring your pet, because so many people have that issue at home, and she was always booked every class she gave, and I thought that was yeah, that was a great thing she did. So yeah, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, and I'm glad you really enjoyed it, Maxine. Have you meditated before, or is this something new for you?
Years I many years ago when my sister died, I started doing transcendental TM.
Yeah, everybody starts there.
Yeah, which is very rigid, actually. I
Yeah.
did that for a while and then didn't do it. I've done yoga nidra for
Okay.
sleep. Yeah.
Right.
And the mindfulness, well, I need it. And actually, when I started it, I had a breast cancer scare and I was terrified. So I started it then. And I'm always having some physical problems. It's,
I mean, when you talk about the word mindfulness, what does that really mean? I mean, it just means being present in this moment. That's all it means. So when we use mindfulness meditation, that's all we're teaching people, how to be present in this moment and have awareness of the moment. Because, you know, you might think, oh, I'm present, whatever, I know what's going on, but are you really aware? I mean, how many times do we ever pay attention to our breath? Or when you're in meditation, you start having all these thoughts. And people think, oh, I shouldn't have thoughts. Well, of course you're going to have thoughts. Thoughts are always going to be there. The thing is to really come back to the breath so that the thoughts maybe over time become less, but you're always going to have thoughts. And it's the whole issue of not letting the thoughts control you. You're in control of your body and what goes on. And once you basically get that power, then you feel, wow, okay, I can handle things better, do things better without all this anxieties and fears and all these things that go on. And, you know, that happens with us in sarcoidosis. We have so much fear. There's so much unknown that we really have to learn how to control that fear and be able to get beyond it so that we're able to create some kind of healing environment in our body versus a fear-based environment or a pain-based environment, which we can easily get into. Any of us can get into pain or fear, anxiety, whatever. So we want to move away from that. And it's not to say you're not going to have pain or fear or anxiety or whatever, but possibly lessen that. And that's what, you know, a lot of the studies have.
can't hear you.
Sorry, Susan. Sorry.
Oh, we went to mute. That's all right. And that's what a lot of the studies are showing now, that, yeah, we can take less pain meds, have less pain, and you know, using just a technique of mindfulness and learning how to, you know, tap into that nervous system that creates all of this, you know, tapping into it, slowing it down, eliciting that, you know, relaxation response versus that stress response, which creates all this cascade of hormones and chemicals that are happening in the body that really don't do us any good. So it's that whole merger of mind, body, and spirit, because you're always going to, you know, when you have sarcoid or as you get older, you're always going to have some kind of health issue. You know, most of us, at least, not all of us get to be 102 like my grandmother and healthy almost to the day she died. But you know, we're going to have something. And, you know, and we have to learn how to live with it and thrive with it. You know, thriving with the disease is there's this great psychologist. His name was Wayne Sotil, and I don't know if Minnie's ever heard of him, but he wrote a book called Thriving with Heart Disease. I know Mary McGowan knows who he is, but and I always go back to that thriving with disease thing. It's such a powerful concept because it's not just living with sarcoidosis, it's thriving that we want to do. We want to have full lives, you know, for ourselves and for our families and friends, and not be that person that everybody says, oh, I don't want to be around them because they're always complaining or this or that. And it's okay to complain. And that's why, you know, but with some of these rare diseases, you know, people just don't understand other than the people that have them. So that's why things like this that FSR does is such a great great avenue. You know, this Sarc Socials, all the education things that they offer are always so powerful for any of us. So, and Mindy, you guys offer a lot. I have to
Yeah,
say,
I was
Mindy,
actually just
I barely can keep up.
I was just looking for that link to that book to add it to the chat here, Susan, the book you just mentioned, in case anybody wants to read it. I hope the Goodreads one works. I'm in the UK, so like my computer defaults to UK links to buy books, and so that's not going to be super helpful for anyone.
He's been around. That book has been around forever. Thriving with Heart Disease, and it's Wayne Sotil. I think it's Sotile. I mean, you know, it's just the whole concept of what he says of thriving with disease, not just, you know, living with it, and not just, you know, getting up and saying I have sarcoid. Well, okay, well, you know, we need to thrive with this and connect and still have, you know, empathy and compassion and love in our lives, no matter what, because that's, you know, it's going to be the greatest healer for all of us, and it's going to be what gets us through every day. So it's a nice concept, that thriving.
Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. So I did put that in the link in the chat, as well as a link to the blog post that Susan mentioned at the beginning of the session, as well as a link to the wellness video library, which includes all of Susan's previous sessions, and her four sort of like build up to the monthly adventure sessions. So if anybody wants to take a look at those are there. They're also, you should be able to listen to them on your phone with earphones if you don't want to watch the videos, but you can listen to the audio there. It's a great resource. So yeah, Susan's been doing these every month this spring. And so we have quite a library built up, and this one will go on there now too.
Time flies.
But I will, yeah, and I will go ahead and send that out to everybody. Go ahead, Susan.
Mindy, I know we talked about October, but I don't remember what was kind of we discussed a possible
Our
theme.
theme for October is breath work, because October is National Lung Awareness, like lung health.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
So that whole month is all about the lung, and so we'll do a breath one, and then we talked about November. We're going to do gratitude.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember what we decided for December, but we'll be putting that out. You guys should get an email too from me reminding you as soon as I put up the next session. You can register for it. I always email the last class to the next one, so everybody gets to know. But yeah, thank you so much, Susan, and thank you so much for everybody for coming. And I will send out this video link and the links that I put in the chat if you weren't able to grab them, so that you have those in a handy email.
And just two things. If anybody wants to email me, I mean, I'm fine with that. If you have any questions, Susan D'Agostino, it's just like my last name, but without the apostrophe. Maybe you want to put that in there too, Mindy. Yeah, Susan D'Agostino at bellsouth.net. I'm good with that. And I also have a Facebook page. It's called One Mindful Heart, MINDFUL. And it's all about meditation, free offerings, things like that. And it's not exactly my offerings, but teachings that are out there. And, you know, nothing political, religious. It's all mindfulness. I think if anybody really wants to learn, I put a lot of articles. I put a lot of teachings, a lot of the teachers out there that I've learned from. It's not local, it's just, general information. If anybody wants to go on there, that's fine. They can email me, and then I always want to give like a little, if anybody wants to go online for an app, what Insight Timer, Headspace, Calm, those are all very good apps where you can, play around and see if there's any particular meditations that are, that you really like or you want to continue with. But I don't mind if anybody wants to email, I'm fine. I'll answer your emails or any questions you might have. So I'm good with that.
Great. Thank you,
Thank-
Susan. I added
Thank,
that to the
th-
chat.
thank you all for being here. I see some new faces. Well, I see some new names, but so I love it that, new people are coming in, and Mindy, always thank you for, setting everything up and being so timely and everything that FSR does for all of us. Obviously, thank you.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. And thank you to Susan for bringing this every month to us. I know it's one of my favorite things each month. And thank you to everybody for coming and spending time with us for this last hour. And hopefully we'll see you next month.
All righty. Bye-bye now. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.